Thanks to our efforts, the locale's seething with Northlanders who want to find our merry little hidey hole and murder us all in our beds.
That's right.
Yeah,
So instead of them murdering us in our beds, we're going to go out and
left the camp at
we're going to go get them first. I'm back with another video. Again, a slightly different type of video this time. I'm doing Legend again. I wanted to showcase another build that I really enjoy playing on Legend specifically. That would be my Swiftbow build here with Waystalker. This is one of my favorite builds to play in the game. It's very similar kind of to the last kind of video I did with a specific Legend breakpoint. Okay, let me get that fresh. And then, so what this build lets you do is it lets you one-shot Chaos Marauders, and of course you can two-shot these Chaos Maulers as well. Storm Vermin might take a little bit of extra shooting to deal with them, and I am absolutely letting the bots up here. It's fine.
Solitude may serve peace of mind,
but basically what I'm running is 40% extra damage versus Chaos Infantry. So it's 20% more damage versus Chaos, 20% more damage versus Infantry. And what that lets you do is it lets you combine with the bleed talent. It lets you one-shot those Marauders, that Marauder Infantry, with just a single short bow arrow, and it's very satisfying, in my opinion. Just a really good use of ammo, and I turned around just a little bit too soon when I noticed he was on this side of me. It's fine. If you're still really good at hitting the headshots, you can still deal a lot of good damage to the armored specials or to Storm Vermin. Still deal with them plenty easily. Otherwise, they usually take about 3 arrows to the body to deal with them.
I'd rather some milk relief, but this'll do.
Is he back there? No, he's over here. Yeah, that was bizarre. I could have swore he was coming from the other side. You see, it takes 3 shots. Deal with them usually, but you know what? Swiftbow has a very fast reload time, so I don't think it's too difficult really to deal with them. On Legend, that is. And I'm gonna check back here too, just cause we got a Balm, as Carillion says it. I quite often see people who will use the short bow, and I find that they don't pull back on the arrows enough, especially when they have to attack armored enemies. Swiftbow doesn't deal any damage to armored enemies. Like this doesn't, unless you headshot them. That light attack doesn't actually deal any damage to Storm Vermin. I quite often see elves with Swiftbow who it seems like they'll kind of panic shoot into armored enemies with the light attack, and I think to myself, like, you're not dealing any damage, you're literally doing nothing. And again, I turned around, it's a little bit too late. One shot leeches and stormers with a headshot, as you can see, with so much extra damage versus Chaos Infantry. Swiftbow is also just really good for tearing through lines of infantry such as this with just with the fast shot. That's a good, a good use of the fast shot when you have long lines of infantry such as that. Kind of almost doubles as, or it almost imitates the steam gun on Engineer in a way. And I'm just sort of picking off all the enemies in the area. So, like I said, I'm on Legend, so we're going to go ahead and try to get the books here, because why not? And this is how you get the Grim. It's this jump right here. So a lot of people have difficulty with this jump, so what you got to do is you kind of have to get onto this little corner right here on the post when you jump up, just like that. And you can reliably jump up there pretty easily every single time. Let's go ahead and, you know what, last time I put this on Sienna, she lost it. So let's go ahead and put this on Kruber. They're gonna have to, they don't know how to just walk off and drop, so they have to go all the way around. Come on in, boys, come on in. Get this book, get the potion. So when you got a bunch of Chaos Infantry like this, you can pretty reliably take them out pretty efficiently. And there you go. Like I said, with if you're good at hitting those headshots, you can still deal with armored enemies perfectly fine. Sometimes you gotta bust out the old block. Kind of keep your head on a swivel, and I am running out of ammo here. I'm sure I've gone past like an ammo box or something, and I just didn't really take notice of it. That's alright, we are running Kronos' Volley, I believe the talent is called, which gives me ammo back whenever I get kills with True Shot, so we're going to just use that real quick. I was kind of saving it versus specials, mainly.
Can't see anything.
Nice shot.
Watch the shadows.
There's a Globadier stalking us.
Fire and brimstone! That gas rat's going to explode!
Someone kill that Blight Stormer!
So yeah, you could really deal with enemies very quickly with Swiftbow, such as how I'm demonstrating here. Let us. I'm thinking I want to keep a heal on Kruber in the meantime.
That wind goes straight from the full smooth. Let me put time to kill that sorcerer before he drinks and felt. Kill that thing!
That's how you deal with a lot of specials really quick. But But yeah, it's just a really fun breakpoint in my opinion. Just being able to be super efficient with your swift bow arrows. And actually, when you're dealing with low-level infantry like this, like Skaven slaves or cultists, the arrows do pen. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the light shots pen, I think, at least one, and I'm pretty sure the drawback shots pen, I think, 2. Like I said, don't quote me on that. And also I was gonna say, and also a good thing about swift bow is swift bow is it's just how much mobility you have with it compared to something like the longbow. Obviously, when you draw back an arrow like this, you don't incur a movement speed penalty like you do with the longbow.
Looks like the Gasaki boomer spreading all through the swamp.
Tainted flame on that wind. Warp fire.
Ooh, that was a big true shot. Now I am running barrage on the swift bow, and that is going to mainly be for enemies such as this in particular, monsters.
Keep moving. Don't get caught in its warp fire. Are you aiming for me out?
So you kind of just have to keep up the fire on monsters with a swift bow. Obviously it's not going to deal as much damage as a longbow. And as you can see, you can still snipe with the swift bow. Alright, I'm gonna put that on you. We're gonna have to face another horde in this area because of the Storm Fiend kind of delaying us.
You should see the Mars of Modred back in Apple Laura. Not so much deep.
I'm gonna keep the healing drought on Kruber in case he needs it, since he's got the Grim.
Don't worry, Cruzy. I'll be back.
And I am backtracking a little bit here, but it is what it is. I don't know if anyone's noticed yet, but I haven't done any melee attacks this whole game. It's a lot easier to pull off a bit of a meme like this on Legend, where I can utilize just the bow in this case. Just you know, add a little extra spice to your gameplay if you're experienced enough for it, that is. You don't always have to increase the difficulty to make the game harder. You could just put certain limits on yourself, certain restrictions, certain challenges. Of course, when you're dealing with shielded boys, you just gotta do quick light attacks.
The warp fire thrower's gone. There, dust it on her.
And oh my god, I almost forgot. the Grim. So the Grim candles are... There's one here. I did forget one on the drop. I'm gonna go back over there and get it real quick. It's the one that is underneath the rock. We'll keep sniping these ambient mobs as we move about. Ooh, there's a Chaos Warrior up there. Whom I've just aggroed during a horde. So the other candle is right here. There you go.
Yeah, this doesn't look good, does it?
Look at the size of that shield.
Oops.
Shooting me, Corellian.
I have hit the bots quite a lot here in this map. I don't normally hit my teammates this often.
The Chaos
And then
Warrior.
here's the
Just
last
what we
candlelight. Normally I take certain positions relative to my teammates where I can still deal with what's around me in the vicinity, and then I can still kind of cover them from range. And of course, whenever I am playing a heavy ranged career such as this build,
Didn't even see it coming.
I've also emphasized this. I always attack the enemies that are farther away from my allies.
This can't be left for the
So it can be really annoying as a melee player who is going up to attack an enemy, and there are enemies that are in the distance. Like, let's say somebody walked up to these couple infantry units right here, and I see all these other guys in the distance, but I choose to attack these guys first instead of the ones all the way out yonder. That can be really annoying for anybody who just walked up on those first two infantry guys. That's a really annoying way to kind of play, or to have somebody like play in your presence. You got to think to yourself, like, I'm the one that has ranged. I have the capability to attack targets that are farther away. I should do that, you know?
No sorrow for a dead packmaster. Strike them down. That's sorcerer.
Really? There we go. I tried to get him with the true shot, but he was actually so far out, I guess it didn't even want to lock on. I just kind of let it rip and hoped that it would aim true, but it failed me. True shot does that sometimes. I quite often like to pull back on the arrows just because it is more efficient for your ammo. You can use up all your ammo very quickly just doing repeated light attacks.
Failed gas that. Death is too good for you.
Fire rat, careful on the smoke. It's an ammunition fire.
Of course, you're going to suffer greatly against enemies such as Chaos Warriors. Shortbow is got a huge weakness against super armor, so I'm just going to let the boss sort of deal with him.
No, that's a stunner.
And we got another one.
Always works, that.
I could do this. I think that... Okay. I was going to say, I think that, that causes him to sort of spend his stamina and open his shield up.
You should ask Mauler for one of your own.
Do you want rid of me, Master Dwarf?
Just thought you'd
Bring the battering ram.
Let's drop down here real quick before another wave spawns. So sometimes what I like to do whenever I'm playing something like this, I'll kind of stand in this tower, and I'll just kind of snipe everything, or I'll specifically look out for specials as my team kind of pushes the ram and deals with deals with all the infantry. This is also just a good spot to kind of kill this first wave as they all try to climb up the tower there. You can see I can one-shot headshot those berserkers as well. Whoops. What happened to the... I don't know what happened to that assassin. He might have killed himself on the battering ram here. I'm having a little bit of trouble pushing the ram here. Trying to kite around with with just my bow, refusing to use melee.
Down the top, tried and true, legend lives its movements true.
Strangler, bring it down. Don't let it touch me.
Weapons up. LegendTide.
Yeah, just because it's legend difficulty doesn't mean this isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world. I do have both Grims, so my window of taking damage is still very tiny. I can only take one hit reliably here, and even then, that's only when I'm at full health here, which I'm not generating any temp HP. Except for, you know, what the bots are giving me with their abilities. Shortbow is really good for like practicing your aim. I mentioned before how when I first started playing the game, this is basically one of my favorite builds. Just using Swiftbow, and I kind of helped me practice getting used to the aiming in Vermintide quite a bit. I think I'm going to...
Medical supplies. Time for a potion.
And then I'm going to...
It's a wonder you're not a massive scar.
Actually, no, I'm not, because then I'm going to take a whole bunch of damage. Now, there should be... There shouldn't be. There's not always. I'm hoping there is. An ammo crate up ahead here. Hey, there it is. And we can just kind of... So you see how there's like enemies far away and then there's enemies close. I could take the time to hit the enemies that are closer, but I'm going to hit the enemies that are a little farther out. And that's sort of what I would do in a regular game with real people. Because then, you know, they'll have the chance to still attack enemies that are nearby. It's just something that I always try to emphasize here whenever I get a good opportunity to do so in the right moment. It's just a lot more fun way to play. I've mentioned before that I like to give my teammates the chance to play. I'm not a green circle hog. I don't want to do things that are going to frustrate my teammates, you know, as we play. And of course, my bots aren't going to engage these enemies until I get in their face. So constantly trying to kite back is making them kind of not want to engage here at all. But yeah, in the game with just the bots here, I'll kind of just hit everything, even if it's close. But with real people, I always tend to hit the targets in the back first, and I think I'll keep the purple potion here. Though the items do spawn over there. Sometimes. Nobody knew about that area in particular. Those 2 crates are there all the time. Sometimes they'll have loot die in them. A lot of people mostly walk by them. They're a little bit out of the way, so most people don't bother with them. If I find myself ahead of the pack, which I often do, I'll take the time to go off the beaten path and go open those crates. Nah, I'll keep the strength potion. That way I can still deal damage to him. And let's see if we can get... There we go. There we go.
Could be worse.
There we go. And then... There we go. So for anyone who also doesn't know, you can still zoom in with any bow on Carillion playing Waystalker. It's one of her inherent abilities. So that's what that zoom in function is that I'm using. So a strength potion will let you deal damage to super armor with short bow. I can just do light attacks here and they'll still deal damage to him. It's the only way to deal damage versus armor with short bow. Otherwise, you see, I deal no damage. And we're just gonna kind of burn everything here to kill Mr. Brimspetter. You can hit a headshot, and that'll deal damage to him. Same thing with Chaos Warriors and such, but you know it can be pretty difficult to do. So. It's just something to keep in mind whenever you are using a swift bow.
Good bit of revenge, that. And we keep Lona's face nice and secure.
Two shots. For Cronus. And there it is. Another fun build to try on Legend difficulty. Something I have gotten a lot of replayability out of Vermintide by playing. And yeah, I thought I would show off that particular build. As I've said before, one of the main goals I have here on the channel is to get other people to enjoy Vermintide as much as I have. To get them to get the most out of Vermintide. And there it is, 0 melee kills. And I don't recommend playing this way that I have this game. You know, I do recommend using your melee, whatever melee weapon you want to equip. But swift bow with 40% extra damage versus Chaos Infantry, plus the bleed talent. That'll let you one-shot those Marauder infantry units, and it'll let you two-shot those Mauler Elites. It's very fun breakpoint in my opinion. So that's another one in the bag. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. GG.